What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy, Andrew. So, and who am I with? As always, Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggie. Talk shit or get off the pod. Episode 65. Welcome, mother.
I think like part of my job. Oh yeah, by the way, hold on 1 second. I can't not do the cheer every time. 65. But yeah, good to be back. I think that time you were muted. So if you guys don't watch, if you just listen, there's always there's a swap, and obviously there's music. I'm always messing around with shit. And
on the video
aspect of the audio, and then we'll have to switch it over, but I have to do a countdown, and I try to time it with a certain spot of a song, and sometimes there's miscues all over the place. I think last time it was a black screen. It was
and this time I was on mute and I did the intro and you couldn't hear me, and I also almost didn't even hit record. Had you not said that, I probably would have forgot.
Yeah, and so in case you, if I'm, depending on how it is, if Andy's muted, has to mute himself for me to play the music on the stream because it's my desktop audio. So if I don't do that, I need to turn my mic around. Jesus, okay, much better. And if I don't,
you just sound better.
Yeah, I don't know why it was. I was like, what? Why is this backwards? I sound super off. But then whenever. But there's been times where we're not muted and we're running music, and then we're just like, oh yeah, fuck this, fuck that. So it's kind of funny, man. We have the live's got all sorts of great miscues. But 65, I named it "What Goes Up Must Come Down." I was like, ooh, okay. And I think I used the correct punctuation. I don't know what you're gonna name it, but fuck yeah, man. Welcome back. I'm happy to be here. I feel better. I was sick this weekend. Last week I wasn't feeling good either. And I feel like I got my mojo back.
I like that,
which is good.
But what I was gonna say is I always want to name it whatever you name it on our live stream.
Yeah.
But if after the podcast something just is better,
oh yeah,
then I'll name it something different. But and you know what I noticed though is so I listened to Crooked Media is this big podcasting network.
Yeah, I know there.
Yeah. So they do Pod Save America and Pod Save the World.
Yeah.
Those are the two that I listen to. But now that I'm sometimes working from home, I'll hit them up on the YouTube and watch the video because to me it's more enjoyable if I'm just going to be sitting in front of the TV anyways. And their YouTube title of their podcast is different than their audio version. So, and that was after we started our live streaming.
Well, yeah, I mean,
so I don't feel so bad about having it different.
Well, I mean, indeed, it's interesting because I've noticed in how we name stuff. So if I name I think Victor Does Dallas, whenever he came to that Republican convention, the way I named it, if it's moderately controversial, I feel like it pops up higher, but I never say anything too crazy. But off the bat, one of our most watched episodes was Fuck Your Coffee, when we talked.
Yeah.
And that one was huge. Fuck Your Coffee was off, it was just boom. And there was a couple other ones that I had where it was I don't think it was just the title, but we fluctuate. I'm always trying to come up with something, but it's good to be back, man. And hopefully, we make it through this whole one, because last time you bowed out really early and you ended it, and I get it, the Birds lost, but
no, hold on. Just to finish your point, I think about that too, about the title, because I'm always confused on which one gets more plays on the audio side. So for y'all, Joseph runs the video, I run the audio. So if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever the fuck, that's my I'm in charge of that. And then if you're watching on YouTube, are we still doing Facebook and Twitch? Or?
Yeah, we're on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and we just do it live. So it's we do all of them. So that way there's another aspect. It gives us another medium for us to have posted and categorized. And also we can always go back and yank audio and clips from the actual video, which is nice. But I run all of that from my little super station here. and then he's in control of like recording it. So there's times where we haven't recorded. There's
That
that
one time,
no,
one time.
okay, yeah, that one time it was pretty funny, but it's been a dude. We're almost at a year. It's like just crazy to me.
That is crazy. Like, yeah, and also, I think you came in on like episode 26 or 7,
No, I think it was
and
like yeah, somewhere around there, like 20. I think I came on. I was a guest once or twice, and then
oh no, yeah, you were guest on 10 and 15.
yeah, 10, 15, and then it was like 25, 26, because that's whenever.
Yeah,
And then whenever I came on, I was like, we should just stream them all, and I've been
I know,
dicking with
but
this since.
well, the thing about it's been now 40 episodes since then. That's
Yeah,
so like it's like as if that beginning of the podcast is like it it's a midget compared to what we've been doing.
yeah. Well, and well, it's yeah.
And that's right. I said the M word. I
It's
don't
that
care.
it's transformed so much because I changed the backdrop,
Well,
and
that's
now
true
we're
too.
like
Yeah.
deep in the backdrop too. But I mean, we've, and then there was the 2 episode, and then almost a 2 episode birth and death of screenplayers, which I think we understand the system better because we didn't. I had some great clips. That was really good. That was really watched. Like the first one's watched, and I had no clips, and
That
then we
was
kind
our
of bailed on it.
that was our movie podcast, y'all.
But no, I've
Uh,
thought we could like just watch the movie and just not have it on and watch it and then just live react to it.
I was maybe like doing like some fungi again on Saturday
Dude, why are you eating so many mushrooms, man? What is your deal?
because it's so convenient, and I feel like they're not bad for you. But I was watching it with I was doing it with the Iron Ape Tyson, and we were watching Sorry to Bother You,
Yeah.
and Danny Glover's in there, and
Danny G, yeah.
yeah, star of Lethal Weapon, which is like the franchise that we started the movie podcast
Yeah,
with.
and we got 2 episodes deep, and we had like a
But
whole catalog ready, and then it was like we got a strike because
we,
we
we,
were running
we got
clips.
kicked off in the middle of the goddamn recording.
Yeah. No, not in the middle. We were.
I thought it was. I thought it was just done. Like,
Well, yeah, no.
we just had to
It
stop.
no. It booted us. Like it didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't on Facebook, so that's where they didn't block us, which is hilarious. As Facebook's like, what the fuck ever, we don't care. But yeah, YouTube like shut down the
Yeah.
stream, and I had no idea. And then it ended, and then when I got off, I had like a strike. And they were like, yo, bro, what are you doing? I was like, wait, what the fuck? And I had all these emails, and I didn't even notice because my phone's like on silent, and that was a trip. So then we abandoned it.
Yeah, but
We can get back
it's coming.
into it.
It'll
One of
come
these
back.
days, it'll come back.
It will come back. HBO's gonna hire us to do it. Because I just feel like that would be the company if there was gonna be a company
Yeah, that's
to
true.
do it. But no, Tyson was saying, he's like, we were watching the movie and we're tripping, obviously. And he's like, what has Danny Glover been in since Lethal Weapon? And I was like, well, I did a screenplayers podcast, 2 of them. And unfortunately, I did a lot of research on Danny Glover.
Yeah.
And he's been in like something like 100+ movies since then.
Oh, I believe
And
it.
he's like literally rivaling Samuel L. Jackson, who has the Guinness World Record for appearances in movies.
Yeah, well, I mean, shout out
Samuel.
Danny G, dude.
Yeah, Danny G's he's right up there.
Predator, dude. They're telling you there's a really good movie called Switchback, and he's in it, and it's got like Skeet Ulrich from Scream, and something about a train and a dude with a knife, and it's got Danny Glover, and it's actually pretty fucking good.
Nice.
I saw like another I saw some. I think I saw it on like Amazon Prime for like we'll give you $5 to watch this, and I was like, oh, actually, it's actually pretty good.
Well, Sorry to Bother You is really good.
Yeah, no, but Danny G's the man.
But also
Kills the Predator.
Not the best to watch on mushrooms because it's like really really weird and not like fun, if you will. Like it's like a kind of depressing.
Yeah, you don't watch that. Why would you watch that?
Because we were talking and I was talking about how the one scene where they hold the strike and they're like, phones down. And then I was like, yeah, we should. I was like, that was a pretty good movie. Why don't we just put it on? And then it's just like just a takedown of like corporate America and like life in general. And it's just like
Like,
we
damn.
uh, we actually stopped it with 11 minutes left, and to because we just both like just couldn't handle it anymore. Like, and and I was like, dude, that
That's
is
pretty
like
amazing.
that's quite the like hot take, or not hot take, like indictment on your movie where there's only 11 minutes left and we changed it.
Well, but that's not necessarily true because you were tripping. So I mean, maybe you finish that movie if you're sober. That's not, like you said, that's not something you should watch.
Right,
There's
usually
certain
like
things you should, like you should watch Afro Samurai or something and be like, yeah, this is awesome.
usually what we watch is Winter House and Summer House on Bravo, because it's just like just dumb shit, but they're but it's like funny, like how these people behave, and it's just like they're rich and they don't give a fuck and they just have fun and party, and it's just like so we can talk shit about them, but then also like we have our favorite like girls like
Like it lightens the mood because
yeah
it's like, oh,
exactly
I'm gonna
like
go buy a new Aston Martin today, and then I'm gonna go take the helicopter to go play with
no
octopus, like that type of show. Because that'd be awesome.
no it's like so basically it's like a bunch of friends who are like around the age of 30, some older, some younger,
Okay.
and they rent a house in the Hamptons for like the summer, and they all work, so they only go there on the weekend, but they every weekend they go back every single week, and they just party. And but then there's like drama and like they're hooking up with each other and
This is
talking
a
shit.
reality show, or
Yeah, yeah,
oh, okay, yeah. No, reality television can be pretty funny.
I know, but this is like, I mean, uh, well,
You can't
tyson and i
you can't be
tyson and I
watching
were
depressing shit.
exactly, and like Tyson and I were talking, we're like, we're like, it, did they know that this is the best show ever to watch while you're on mushrooms? And I was like, well, to be fair, we haven't really watched any other show on mushrooms because there's like 7 seasons. So we did it the first time and it was just like we had the best times of our life. And then so now anytime we do it again, like we're just like, you want to see our girl Paige? Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
hit Summer House. But then they also came out with Winter House, and they same concept except for not the weekend part. They just live there every single day for 2 weeks, and that gets a lot more tense.
yeah. That sounds like it. That sounds like pretty dramatic. And says, does it affect them at work? Do they show up at like each other's jobs and have incidents? Because I mean, they're partying there on the weekends. They must all live in close proximity.
No, all of them live in the city, so they live in Manhattan. But
And then they just,
this house is in the Hamptons, and
how
they have
long's
to
that
drive
drive?
like 4 fucking hours. It without traffic, probably an hour, but every single time it's like they're like, oh, we got here in 3.5 hours. Like that's a good day. they, it's weird. Like I don't know. I don't think I could party
I've
like that.
never heard of this, but I'm gonna watch it.
You have to.
Yeah, I have to
It's
now.
yeah. It's
Winter House and Summer House.
yeah. I would go with Summer House. It's way more lit.
Okay, well, I mean, I feel like it would be.
But also, if I was you and I had never seen it, I would start season one, episode one.
Yeah.
And if you have Peacock, that you can watch all of them.
Okay. Yeah. No. Definitely. You definitely start a reality show from the beginning. You can't jump in the middle. And it's not like,
Okay.
because it's not like, unless it's, obviously certain reality shows like The Bachelor or some shit like that, you can jump in the next year because it's only going to be like, oh, this guy got third and they left him because he collected paper dolls and now he gets to be the bachelor, and then they'll show you a little clip and you're like, oh, that guy's like a total wiener, whatever, okay, cool, that's why he lost, but now he's gonna find some chick. You can get caught up in the bachelor real quick, right?
Well, the only reason why I said that was because Tyson and I started with the latest season, and then we watched the season right before that, and then the season right before that. So we were literally going
Back when it's
backwards.
in time.
And he's like, he's all tripping out. He's like, did we just like figure out like a loop, like something in the time continuum where we just we broke it?
Some
He's like,
interstellar shit.
times what is it?
I just watched that, like,
A full like, what is it? A circle,
time is a flat circle.
flat circle. Yeah, there it is.
I just watched like all of season 1 of True Detective, and it's still like so good. Like I literally
Of
like
course it
I
is.
finished it. Like, I mean, I was talking about, I'm not okay. Matthew McConaughey gets on my nerves to a certain
Why?
extent. I don't know.
Because he's a UT fan.
No, not so much that. I mean, I don't know. There's something like he's a fantastic actor. I like all of his work, but just like sometimes how he carries himself, he's like, I might run for governor. I'm like, stop it, dude.
Wouldn't you rather have him than Abbott?
Well, yeah, but I mean, of course, I'd rather have anyone than Abbott.
Okay, well that's what I'm saying.
You know, but
Get off my boy. All right, all right, all right.
but I mean, it's just like he's so good, and that's probably one of his best. Like, I think, like, his role in that. And they're coming out season 4. They've got their cast laid out for season 4 of True Detective. So shout out.
I didn't even know there was a season 3.
Season 3 is pretty wild, man.
But okay, but I put on because we were watching True Detective over at Tyson's house. He didn't have HBO. I did. I put it on his TV, and now he watches my HBO, which is fine with me. I don't give a fuck. But like, I turned it on like literally like 2 days ago,
Yeah.
and it was like continue watching season 3, episode 3 of True Detective. I was like season 3.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody hasn't seen it, I mean, if you haven't seen it, dude, it's good. Like, the first one's like the best. I liked the second
What'd you-
one.
you
Even
did?
though I didn't think it was that bad. It was a completely different story, so I enjoyed
I
the fact that it was
know.
no, but I know everybody wanted a continuation, and it's like, no, like, it was something completely different, and it was cool, and I liked that. In the third one, they get back stylistically more to like the first one, but it's like different, but it's cool. Like, I mean, I think they did a good job, and so I'm curious to see what direction they do with season 4. But you know, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Have you watched The White Lotus?
I have not.
Also on HBO. I really recommend it. Um, uh, so I binged the first season, and then the second season just started, I guess 4 weeks ago now. So there's 4 episodes, but similar thing where there's a completely different cast the second season, except for Stifler's mom is in the first and the second.
Okay, nice.
So far, she's the only one that made the transfer.
Yeah,
But
I gotcha.
yeah, but it's equally as good. So I'm not hating on True Detective like for having a different cast the second season and then the third season.
Yeah, well, shout out HBO. Give us a deal. We're plugging your TV shows. You're not paying us. Hook us up. Holla at your boy.
Okay, so this is what I heard.
Uh-oh.
So did I didn't see if this was in the notes. Did you see Bob Iger took over as CEO for Disney?
I saw something about that. I was busy earlier, but I didn't like read it too much. I was seeing it on Twitter.
Okay, so Bob Iger used to be the CEO of Disney, most successful CEO in the history of Disney, bar none, maybe in the history of media. And he retired like 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, recently.
Yeah, and then this guy named Bob Chapek, who he picked to be his successor, took over the job, and then they gave him a 2-year extension, like not a year ago, and then all of a sudden yesterday, Bob Iger just takes his job, which is crazy.
That's a power move, man.
It is. It's
Changed my
weird.
mind. I changed my mind. You're like, oh,
But
okay, sorry.
yeah, the reason why I brought it up was because I heard that they were gonna maybe sell ESPN and
Oh
then
wow.
use that money to buy Netflix.
Who would they sell ESPN to?
I don't know, but
Be like Live Golf. Live Golf buys them up.
oh yeah, yeah, great. Yeah, yeah. All we need is MBS running ESPN. Fuck that.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. I mean, there's been so much going on. He could even be frustrated with just what's been the shit that's been swirling around Disney. But they're huge. Disney's massive. They own everything.
Yeah,
They're like one of 5 companies that own everything.
yeah. But however, the stock has been a little bit shaky, like given what they're doing. And like they acquired, remember, like Century 21 Fox, and the actual channel Fox, so they like own the Simpsons and shit. They own
Yeah.
Hulu. And so that was like a huge deal he brokered. And I don't know. And if Disney Plus, Hulu, and Netflix are all owned by Disney, that's a fucking flex. But they could get regulated
Yeah, I think that get regulated the fuck down, dude.
for antitrust.
Yeah, antitrust, and then at that point, it'd just be them and Amazon. They would own like almost everything when it came to streaming.
Well, that's why they give up ESPN, so they don't have ESPN Plus anymore. But now they have Netflix, which
Well, but ESPN Plus is not.
no, well, Netflix is down like fucking 50% in the last year.
Well, yeah. Well, what goes up
I think
must
they
come
lost
down.
over a billion subscribers. Think about that. I didn't even know that was a lot to like that many to lose.
A billion?
Yeah, I swear to God, I heard that.
Yeah,
today.
that's a lot. I mean, that's has to be a little dramatic. I think they would have gone under if they lost a billion subscribers.
I'm almost positive that's what I heard.
It's a lot.
I
That'd
know.
be crazy.
Didn't know they had a billion.
Well, shout out Disney, trying to take over the world, one company at a time, buying it
Well,
up piece by piece. We used to make racist, anti-Semitic cartoons, and now we're just streaming you movies. Like Boba Fett, we'll bring them to you.
Well, Bob Iger was thinking about running for president, and then I feel like he just was didn't nobody wanted to knew who he was or wanted to vote for him. And then he was also with Obama in the group to buy the Suns.
Dude, I want Obama to buy the Suns.
I know.
Involved. That'd be awesome. He'd be in
I
there
know.
like brokering deals, like.
But he was
recruiting
also
people.
he was trying to do that, and they're like, we're not selling you the Suns because I'm a racist, crazy owner.
Well, but like what I'm saying is, imagine if he was,
No, I'm talking about Bob Iger.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'm talking about Obama owning the Suns.
He still might.
Yeah, no.
It's not,
So
it's not a done deal.
like if you were trying to like interview some like young guy coming up in the draft, and you like go meet up with him somewhere, and he's like hooping, playing 1-on-1 with Obama, you'd be like, ugh, because he would just lock that in. He would lock that the fuck in. Heard you like to play
Lock
hoops.
him in.
He'd be
Lock
like,
him
he's
in.
got that lefty
Lock
shot.
him in.
He's got a sweet lefty shot. He'd just be like draining it. That'd be a done deal.
The best thing ever was when he was going to visit the military, like the Marines, and they were in a basketball court or like it wasn't an arena, like a gym.
Yeah.
And somebody just randomly throws him the basketball, and he's right at the 3-point line, and he's like, and he just shoots it and a fucking swish, and just everybody freaks the fuck out. He has one shot. Of course, Barack Obama's going.
Of course, he's gonna hit that shit.
Dude,
man.
he's cold.
Yeah, man. OG. Well, yeah, I'm happy. 65. Shit's been crazy. It's It's been quite the trip, and we have a couple things to discuss today. I actually didn't
Yeah.
even look at the therapy questions.
Oh, well,
That's good. Yeah.
let's go. Because you don't get to put in like your own therapy questions when you're in therapy.
Hey man, shut up, dude. I'm doing my
You don't
thing.
get to curate your own therapy questions.
Sometimes I put good ones in there. Sometimes they're duds.
No,
Sometimes
I'm saying
watch
when you
out,
go to
dude.
therapy, you don't know what your therapist is going to ask you.
True.
So therefore, you shouldn't know what these questions are. That's why I put them in late.
All right, big facts.
All right. Therapy question number 1, y'all. Which is more important, love or money, and why?
I mean, I would have to say love in the sense that, like, in some sort of form or fashion, for sure. Because I mean, money comes and goes, and you don't get to keep everything that you make. But like, the time that you spend with people is extremely important. And if you have a good support system and people that love you around you, like if you work hard, I feel like you can succeed. If you have that type of setup. So for me, I'd have to say that because money comes and goes, and if you're working hard, you can attain that. Like
Well, love comes and goes. But how much
not
would
yes and
you
no.
how much would it take for you to, like, you're in love with like a girl, let's say. How much would it take to buy you off to break up with her?
I mean, I don't know if that'd be. Probably nothing, dude. Like to be honest, I probably wouldn't take
Not $1 billion.
$1 billion. That'd be kind of shitty, man. I don't. I don't know.
I'm aware that it's shitty. I'm just
Probably not.
asking.
Probably not, man. Not for. Nah, man. I don't know. Because then I'd be that dude. They'd be like, "How'd you get $1 billion?" And I'd be like, "I had to break up with my girlfriend." You'd be a dick. No, then you'd start off being a billionaire like a dick billionaire. Nah, bro.
Right. Nah. Uh,
Nah.
I doubt that you would say
I
more
mean,
than
I know
that.
you would.
I don't know. I don't know.
You. So, I mean, for $1 billion.
No. Yeah, I would. It's $1 billion, dude. Come on.
It's a shit ton of money. Now, 2 billion. If you give me Twitter, maybe no,
That's 44 billion.
no, it's more like 44 cent.
Yeah, that's right. It's not actually worth 44 billion. It just that's what he paid for it. That fucking idiot.
No, I mean, I think that for me, honestly, like where we grew up and what we would grew up around and an understanding of like what like people who amass large amounts of wealth looks like and like the things that come with it, the pros and the cons. That I mean, I feel like I'm more like adverse to wanting to do something like that in the sense that like I've never really been more like, oh man, need to have $1 billion, like
Okay,
on
well
my
let me. I could just frame this in a way better way. So, okay, yes, you have to break up with your girlfriend that you love, but you get $1 billion, and then you could just save like 1,000 people's lives, with your money.
sorry
And
babe, I had to break up with you and get this $1 billion so I could go save thousands of people. That's true. I mean,
exactly, yeah.
so I could be a
So if you want to,
philanthropist.
yeah, if you want to feel better about it,
We never would have developed the gill breathing machine for humans had I not broken up with you.
right?
Like you could take the Lex Luthor route. It's
What's
true.
that?
Well, I mean, that's kind of like what Elon Musk is doing. But Lex Luthor is like the rich billionaire dude who, in Superman, he's always trying
No,
to
I
kill.
know who he is,
Yeah.
dude.
So, I mean, you could just become like some bald billionaire guy and try to save the world. Like I guess a good Lex Luthor. So,
I'm down with the Cougars, like my name. Hold on. What is it? I'm down with the Cougars. They my kryptonite, like my name Lex Luthor. Last name Man, first name Super. Yeah, I wrote that.
here we go.
All right. Therapy question number 2. Why is it acceptable to kill insects?
I think it's acceptable to kill some, but not all.
Okay, but why?
I think that, like, spiders, if they enter my space, like they're inside the house, it's like it's on. You're gonna die if I see you. I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're a non-poisonous garden spider and you're good. Like there's no such thing as a spider that's good for the house.
How about
So
yeah, you infiltrated my
scorpions,
property.
yeah, scorpions are pretty much everything horrible that's ever existed rolled into one thing that glows in the dark under a black light because they have a stinger and little clipper hands and they got like mandibles and shit and like 8 eyes. But scorpions can kill instantly.
Hold on. So this is weird because I didn't ever think about this until right now. Uh, Scorpion, I'm not trying to kill it because it's so gnarly to me that like I don't want to like fuck with it. I'm like trying to get it the fuck like out.
Out, yeah. I mean, you can do like the shoe can and stuff, but they'll climb on walls and on the ceiling, get in your
No,
boots.
I know, but
Yeah,
yeah, but like I just feel like stepping on a scorpion is different than a spider.
no, I'm not gonna step on it. I'm gonna get like
Like
a boot
a
or something, and if it's in my space, if I see it, it's in the house,
no, no,
and it
I'm
spooks
down
me,
for
you're
it.
dead.
I'm down for it to die. I just don't know how I would kill it because it's not like a normal insect.
Exactly, man. They're like everything.
Is it even in an insect?
I think
Like,
they're aliens. No, and that's what I'm saying. Is like that's an alien, dude. Like that's an
like, well,
alien.
like a spider is like an arachnophobia, whatever the fuck.
Arachnid.
Arachnid. Um, is what's a fucking scorpion?
Like a fucking Satan thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Satan, a sand Satan. I don't know, dude. They're horrible. But
Think
like,
about if you
but like,
step on one.
but like a praying mantis. No, you save those. You release that into the wild. You leave a praying mantis alone.
No,
Ladybugs.
I
Like
was talking about a scorpion.
no,
If
no,
you
I know, but no, what I'm saying because like yeah,
Whoa, hold on. You fuck with praying mantises
if there was a praying mantis like on like that, I would get it on a piece
that
of paper.
kills the the dude after they fuck him.
Sorry, dude. If I knew what it was, if I could tell between a boy or a girl, then
That's
maybe.
true.
But I would still release it. They're cool, man. Those are
So
like
you would kill. So you're saying openly right now on the podcast that you would kill the female praying mantis, but not the male.
no. I mean, I have no issues with either of them. But if I mean, you'd have to be a
But
mega
if you
nerd to
but if
know
you had a
which one.
pick, but if you had a pick,
No, man, I'm not that much of a
you
incel
just
that I
said
need
you
to.
just said
I only kill the female mantises. That might
that's what you
some
just
like.
said. You
No,
just said that.
I didn't say that I would. I said if you could tell, I guess you could
Then what?
distinguish.
Then what?
I would still save it. They're cool. They
Okay,
don't
well, then,
fuck with us. They're not. They
then
don't
why do you
mess with me.
care? Why do you care?
Well, because you were talking shit like that. I'm saving praying mantises.
Well, I just wanted to
You
talk
made it
shit
sound
about.
like you would kill a female praying mantis.
I no, like bugs that like can't hurt me.
Yeah,
I don't.
exactly. You don't
Yeah,
fuck
that
with
I.
those. There's
Yeah,
a
no,
line.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. It's. I used to, and I wouldn't kill bees
Mm-mm.
because they're
Never.
unkillable. They're like I don't know how to even kill a bee. But I used to be scared of bees, and then now that they're like in almost endangered if they're not like already, now I just feel bad for bees, and I'm just
Yeah,
like, I'm just,
butterflies, moths, you leave alone. But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you can't kill a bee. But if you see like hornets and like wasps, yeah, you fucking kill those if you have the spray and you can take their little.
I never have the spray. I just have my PF flyers, and I'm just running like Benny the Jet Rodriguez the fuck away. This one time I was like at work at the uh, cigarette smoking circle, if you will, like where
Okay,
everybody like went on break,
yeah,
and this giant fuck. I thought it was a bird, but it came out of my head, and I just took off running. It was a Japanese beetle, which found out later because I didn't even know what that was, but that was explained to. But like literally, it was like with like 9 people, and I just go boom and just run, and I was like thought like try to clown me, and I was like, I don't want to fuck with any large bug that can fly.
yeah,
Like
yeah. I mean, there's just certain ones that I don't want to fuck with. So like, spiders I'd never fuck with, scorpions, but like see like
We
spiders.
do fuck with spiders. We kill them.
I know we all like kill them, but I'm saying like that means if I kill you, I don't fuck with you like that. If you're a bug, if otherwise I leave you alone. Basically with bugs, I am Liam Neeson minding my own business. Unless you are one of these bugs that comes and fucks with me, then I have a special set of skills. I have a special set of shoes that are in the corner, and I will find you and murder you. And that's because you came in my space. If you want to be a spider outside, I'm not fucking with you. I'll leave you alone. I'll be like, gross, don't go over there. There's a spider. But if it's like, hey, look out, over behind you, there's a spider, like you're going to die. I take that as a threat, like you are making an advance at me, and I do not appreciate it. And I'm coming
it's the exact same policy we have with humans.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like you're gonna roll up.
I guess.
Are you rolling up in my house? Then we got problems.
Okay, that's fair.
But I'm not gonna fuck with you outside. Like, you know,
come in here, step in my door.
No, don't.
Unannounced one day and see what happens.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm leaving you alone. But if you trespass on my property, I'm coming for you.
There's laws, like, you know, that support that.
It's true.
All right. Therapy question number 3. Can torture be justified?
I feel like you're trying to make us wind up on some sort of list or something. They're like, so
you were born on a list, homie.
True. That's tricky. I mean, I guess it depends. I mean, I don't think you want to be torturing people, but I know that they do for like to try to get information. Half of the time, some of the information you're getting is bad from people.
It's not half the time.
Most of the time.
It does not work.
So I mean, it's like it's not really worth it. It doesn't make sense to like do that, like work as a society, because when you think about it and you think about something like that, it's always some movie, some rogue thing. It's not like, you know, I think in the civilized reality of the world, there's no room for something like that anywhere. Like that's, you know, a war crime.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I asked the Iron Ape right before we started recording, and he said that torturing somebody who tortured somebody could be justified, but
you're just arguing semantics. That's like that's how a movie starts, where it's like, and it continued for forever, and it's like, I heard you tortured somebody, now I'm going to torture you, and then you're a torturer.
Well, no, but then he didn't want it. He wasn't going to be the one to torture them. He would just have a lackey do it. However, I don't. It to me, don't. Yeah, if like a enemy combatant tortured somebody and we got a hold of him, just put a bullet in his head and just call it a day. Like torturing somebody is fucking weird to me.
Yeah, I mean,
and it doesn't work to get information. In fact, it can be like counterproductive, and also
we've seen that like throughout, like in recent
and if
history.
we're torturing, if like the United States is torturing people, then other people are going to be justified in torturing Americans, and so it's just a fucking can of worms, like on like so many levels that you don't want to deal with.
Yeah, it just continues the issue of there's like it's like a revenge tour against each other. That's why you can't do stuff like that. Like whenever they were hiring outside I mean, you know, they
like contractors
to run these prisons, and they were doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Those guys all got sent to prison. Those guys got charged with war crimes.
And then they got pardoned by Donald Trump.
Yeah,
and that's a fact.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, but I mean, that's what some people don't realize is what some of those guys were locked away for. It's like there's no justification for those things ever, and we wouldn't want anybody doing that. Like I just don't, you know, wouldn't want to get pulled over for a speeding ticket and then be tortured by the cops because they were trying to get more information about something like that. Like anything you like, that's just fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
Next topic.
All right. Therapy question number 4. If you rob from the rich and you give to the poor, is it wrong?
Aladdin.
No.
Or Robin Hood. Well, so does Aladdin, kind of, because he was stealing bread from rich people and giving it to that girl on the street.
Oh, well, that's because he was trying to get that
No,
Coochie.
that's before. It's before.
No, that's how he set it up. You know, so it was a long game.
Um, I mean, you shouldn't be stealing, but that's like somebody's like, oh, they robbed a bank and they got away with $50,000. I don't like feel bad for the bank because the bank's money's
Yeah, who the
insured, and
fuck
they
would?
get paid. So that, and if they like gave it, and they're like, I gave all that money to build a playground, I'd be like, oh, like,
No, like you like gave it to like your Brett Favre, the El
no,
Chapo of welfare checks.
and
You
concussion
just
medication too.
no, like you're literally El Chapo, like where you're like giving the money to like poor communities to like pay them off.
Well, no, you're doing it with the intent of getting cover, so you're not doing it out of real
Well,
generosity. You're doing
okay,
it like there's a
that
catch.
not that part, but just he was just the richest guy I could think of who used to give money to poor people,
I
like
mean, I guess
from his
that's not
pocket.
like so. If you're like, well, I mean, well, Mr. Beast isn't robbing from anyone, but if you were passing
Who's
money,
Mr. Beast?
if you were he's like this big streamer dude. He's got tons of views. And he does crazy shit, and he just gives people money. He's crazy. But if you were to do something like that, yeah. But I mean, you're stealing, so that's kind of fucked. Like I don't know, it's kind of fucked up.
Like uh what was it called, like the bling ring. It was like there's like these like kids who robbed like Paris Hilton,
Oh
and
yeah. We're like robbing people of their jewelry and stuff.
I
Yeah,
went to her house.
and they're like watching them on social media, seeing where they are, and then yeah,
Yeah, I hung out with her.
how was that?
Weird.
Really? Why?
I was just like, because I didn't know what the fuck where we were going, and all of a sudden I'm just like with those people at their house, and it was just like, good, braids invited me, and this is like 10 years ago. This is like right when this shit was happening.
Oh, crazy.
I know, it was very weird.
No,
Um,
I mean, but no, you can't really be stealing from. It's like, what is are the poor people going to band together and like bail you out? Like, I don't know. You can't really. Bernie Madoff was giving away all the money from his Ponzi scheme because he's taking rich people's money and then just giving it to poor people like Robin Hood. I don't think he'd still still go to prison. Right.
you don't think he would be in prison?
No, if he was doing that and giving out to all the poor people, he'd be. Or I mean, it depends on how many people. If everyone led a revolution, all the poor people banded together and fought against the
What if
rich
it turns
elites. Thank you, Bernie Madoff, and he becomes some like George Washington of the poor people. I don't know, like
I
maybe.
mean, SBF, our boy at FTX.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, oh
yeah.
yeah,
Donating to the Democratic Party. That's one step away. And we both agree that that's not like doesn't mean that he should not be in jail.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. I don't know if that helps you. See, I think some people do stuff like that thinking that maybe in the long term it would help them.
Well, yeah, El Chapo.
Well, yeah, but no, but El Chapo is different. El Chapo like gave towns infrastructure, hospitals, schools, like some
Just
crypto
so,
bro giving the Democratic Party some money is like he thinks it may be that like but they also his partner donated to the Republican Party, so they both
but
donated to
but
both sides of the aisle.
he's paying off politicians, and El Chapo's paying off the town, so that whenever the feds are looking for him, they're like, oh, no say, no say.
Well,
Like
yeah, but then he's also got dudes on that Fed
it's this.
team. Yeah, no,
But
I got you.
I mean, my point is that they're trying to do the same thing, just with different classes of people.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I agree.
And a nice little parlay into our first article.
Yeah. So there's this. So we talked about it last episode. SBF, or the one of the co-founders of FTX, or the founder of FTX. There was a shit ton of money missing. I think we mentioned it before. How much did they say it was? It was like,
You were saying 10 billion last week.
yeah, that's somewhere around 10 billion. But there's been apparently someone who's hacked all of this money has been draining it from these accounts, or like basically it all got transferred to a wallet. No one knows who this wallet is, and now it was like converted to Ethereum, and they're moving all of this money around. No, not some people. There's a rumor that it's like, oh, they're buying meme coins, which I don't think they are, but they are doing some sort of transactions with all of this money that kind of just was taken out of the account, which is super crazy. He's still in the Bahamas.
They're laundering it through crypto.
Yeah,
Which is hard to do because of the blockchain, but if you're sophisticated and you are buying meme coins, like pumping and dumping them.
Yeah, it's after consecutive days of swapping cryptocurrencies. Let me swap this tile so I can bring up the article.
See, that's how it gets fucked.
So after consecutive days of swapping cryptocurrencies drained from FTX for Ether, the so-called FTX accounts drainer is now swapping its Ether for Bitcoin and putting downward pressure on the price of Ether in the process. So they purchased supposedly enough Ethereum to be like the seventh, or like in the top 10 or 15 people, maybe even like higher up on there, of Ethereum like holders. Like they bought a shit ton of Ethereum with it, and now they're swapping it out for Bitcoin.
And Ethereum has plunged.
Yeah.
It is almost right now as we're speaking. It's at 1,100.
And where was it before?
It's been upwards of like 4,600, 5,000.
Recently, or
within the last year? Like,
okay, because I had a bunch and never reached that high. I would have kept that shit. But I'm glad.
But I bought in at like 2,000, like 2.5 years ago, and made money.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But now it's at 1,100, and I also convinced these three guys each to pay $50,000, so $150,000, like on Ethereum, because I told them that I think it could go to like 100. Yeah, and that was like when it was at 4,000. So they have a quarter of their money left if they've been holding.
Do they hate you, or?
I didn't. I met them that night. I was at a club called the Bungalow in Santa
Monica.
Dude,
they fucking hate you, man.
They invited me to their New Year's party, so it was almost a year ago.
This year?
No, it was last year.
Do not go.
It was last year in December.
Do not go. That's gonna be the fucking purge, man.
I had one of the best nights of my life. I didn't tell them to invest $50,000 each. I just was talking to them about Ethereum, and I was like, Ethereum could be like a second internet. Think about how much money that's worth.
Okay, so after consecutive days, so earlier Sunday, the exploiter swapped about 5,000 Ethereum for 347 Ren BTC, a form of wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum that can be redeemed for native Bitcoin, according to the blockchain trader Peck Shield Alert. The drainer then followed with another swap of roughly the same amount for 344.53 Ren BTC. Then the exploiter next began bridging the newly swapped Ren BTC out of Ethereum via the Ren's BTC gateway, effectively cashing out the Ethereum blockchain in favor for native Bitcoins. There's been as of 7 a.m., there was 45,000 Ethereum that had been sold. And they were taking place in real time. So people were watching this dude just like cash, like chop this shit out.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
And then the relentless seller from the FTX account drainer, which is crazy that's the name of the.
Would you accept that nickname?
That's crazy. Like
I'm the account drainer,
dude. That's such a fucking troll. That's because people can watch that. They can sit there and watch and be like, this motherfucker. Has put down pressure on the price of Ethereum, which has dropped almost 5% since they began selling. Yeah, that's crazy. It is the 37th largest holder of Ethereum, after being in the top 30 before the selling began. The drop of, yeah, that's nuts. So he had the 37th largest collection of Ethereum, and now he's just like swapping all that out, and it's crashing, like not crashing, but really fucking up the market.
Yeah, it's
That's a
it's
massive level troll, man.
yeah, its market cap is 135 billion. So 30% is over that's like 40 billion plus. Oh no, he was the 37th
Yeah,
largest.
37th. So that's why I said I misspoke.
Largest, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Holder of Ethereum after being, but like whenever he sold,
But still, that's that I'm sure he has a lot
but
of Ethereum.
what I'm saying is he was in the top 30, and then
Right.
he began selling, and now he's fallen to 37th.
Yeah, all I was saying is just that that's 135 billion dollars that we're talking about. So being the 30th is nothing to sneeze at. That's a however it breaks down, that's a shit ton.
That's a shit ton of money. I'd love to be the 37th largest holder of Bitcoin right now,
Or Ethereum.
or Ethereum, or whatever the fuck. Anything.
I mean, Bitcoin would be a lot better, but
Yeah, something that's got some value attached to it. I'd be all for it. Hell yeah, let's go. Top 50? Psh,
yeah.
psh. But yeah, that's pretty nuts. So this dude's cashing out all this money. Some people think that it's SBF.
Oh, they think it's him himself.
Yeah, some people think that it's him, like pulling out the money and draining it out and pumping it other places or whatever. What do you think about that?
I think that's just like fucking idiots. It's like, it, isn't it, this dude is probably like getting surveillanced by like the Mossad, like ex Mossad, like private investigators, like probably like the FBI, like just like posted up outside of his house. Like I don't think he's like making money moves right now. Like he's like trying to figure out how not to get murdered.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's been selling off all of his property and all sorts of
Because
shit.
okay, so like the guy that took over Enron when they were going into bankruptcy
Yeah.
is now the guy that took over FTX.
Oh,
and
that's great.
and then he said that he's never seen this much like shitty corporate governance and like bookkeeping in his life. He said it's unprecedented, and this dude was running Enron's bankruptcy. He was like, "This is even a bigger shit show than Enron."
Enron. That's a big
Yeah,
deal. That's pretty
yeah,
wild.
yeah. So like the fact like that this like little kid, SBF, uh, like
Well, I don't think he can be extradited from the Bahamas, can he?
that was gonna be my point is, like in Enron, yeah, a lot of people did go to jail. However, nobody was like assassinated. But when you're like in the Bahamas and the shit's unregulated, and and you might not be able to get arrested, you might die.
Yeah, I mean, we don't wish that upon anybody.
No,
But
I'm not
well, I
saying
know,
I'm
but
not saying
yeah. But
I'm
he's
just,
put himself in a sticky situation, and a lot of people lost
it's
a
a
lot.
lot of
Tom
money,
Brady and Giselle are gonna get back together just to come get.
and they're being sued.
Yeah, them. Who else is being sued? Russell Wilson, was he being sued? Who else? Mister One Poop a Day or one poop a week.
No,
Sorry.
no, that's his aspiration.
Oh, I know. Sorry, he's at
Aspiration.
he's at two. He's at
He,
two or three.
he puts the ass in aspiration.
That's
All
weird.
right.
No, but that's super crazy because no, that's a good point. Like he's put himself in a lot of danger, and there's a lot of
What I'm
opportunity
saying.
for people that are going to be looking for him. And they can't extradite him, so he's broke maybe, or he's just like
Yeah,
cashing
but
this
it,
shit out. But
but it's got to be fucking scary if like I would need a lot of Xanax or something like to like if I was him. Like I'd be like, dude, I'm about to get murdered wherever I go. It's like being like a dictator. It's like how do you even like step outside of your like
But even if he
palace?
changes it to Bitcoin, they'll still be able to track where it goes.
I'm not even. I don't know how much money he has or whatever, but I just know that a lot of people, a lot of like you know, like high up people lost a lot of fucking money. It's not like retail investors lost that much money here. It's like hedge funds
Oh yeah, no.
like
But what I'm saying is,
and like
if they're
cartels and
watching him,
like
if they're watching him to make all of these moves, right, and do what he's doing, and whoever is doing this, drain all of that money, and now they're bought a bunch of Ethereum, transferring it to the Ren BTC, then to native Bitcoin. If they're watching that, they're still going to be able to watch on the blockchain where that money goes.
right. Well, I guess like
So you would just be basically having like a flash, like a hard drive with a shit ton of money on it that you can't do anything with, or a wallet. You know, you wouldn't. There wouldn't be that much you could really do with it without somebody catching you. That's how we talked about up way back that couple that was
yeah,
scammed
yeah,
a
yeah.
bunch and
No, I
they
know.
got caught.
I know, but I thought about it since then. So like if he did like put in like $50,000 into shitcoin A and then $50,000 into shitcoin B and so on and so forth, then it might not, it might go under the radar. And also the thing is FTX wasn't on it was it was a centralized uh, uh, exchange, so it wasn't being tracked on the blockchain.
True.
So if you're like in Coinbase, like you own your actual coins, but with FTX owned your coin, and so now like when it went under, that's why everybody lost their money. But for Coinbase, if Coinbase has to go to bankruptcy, you still can just pull your coins out. Like they don't have like ownership over it. So it's like that was the difference.
Oh, okay. So they were able to just lock everybody out.
Right. Well, they yeah, exactly. It was like you guys gave us like basically it's like you gave the bank your money and then they didn't have
There
the
was a bank
FBI.
run. Yeah, there was a
They
bank
didn't
run.
have the FDIC insurance, so you don't get your money back. But that's not the same thing like in coin like for like with Coinbase and I'm sure a couple other exchanges, but like these exchanges, a lot of them, you know, it's just who owns the wallet owns your coin.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I remember reading something about that, and like you can have a private wallet, but I mean, whoever's running around with all this money is like they're gonna be able to watch some of it because they're watching some of it now. So like I'm saying, what they're doing now is trackable on the blockchain.
Which I don't disagree with. I just feels like that these are were at least the most sophisticated people in the crypto market. So I could
They
see,
might have their ways of
yeah, like they're probably smarter than the
people.
FBI, like that's like trying to track them.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. All right, well, article number two. Well, I was just saying, Tesla and Twitter. I got this finance article, which is about Tesla. Having to do another recall, their 19th recall this year. That's a shit ton. They've recalled 321,000 cars, or they have to on this one, for a taillight issue. Um, their stock price has been dropping pretty significantly as of late, too. Um, yeah, I mean, I know this is your boy. This is your
My
visionary,
boy, my
the
boy,
man of your dreams. But yeah, it was the Tesla Model
get the
3
fuck out of here.
sedans and the Y SUVs had an issue that caused the taillights to intermittently illuminate, meaning poor visibility on the road in some instances.
I mean, okay, like car companies have recalls. I don't actually think that's why the price is dropping. I think that Tesla is the most overvalued company in the entire fucking world.
Yeah,
I
we've
don't
talked
I
about
don't
that.
Yeah, and it still is, even though it's dropped like a shit ton.
Yeah.
Still is. It does not make sense why it's worth this much, like at all. And I think it's because Elon has been selling, billions of dollars of his stock. It's like those guys who were buying Ethereum and then selling it, and then Ethereum's price dropping. Elon selling Tesla stock to fund his Twitter, like dumb shit, like
Yeah.
how, like mirrors, and it's just, and also I think people are starting to lose faith in Elon, like as a, head of state, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, their stock's been going down, and now he's everybody knows he's bought Twitter. He just reinstated Marjorie Taylor Greene today, I think,
And
and
Donald
Trump
Trump.
and Donald Trump. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, yeah, Donald Trump. He's reinstated quite a few people, which it's his company. They have the right to do so. And I still use it for like cataloging my articles and shit. But it's been kind of a war zone. It's been kind of fucking weird. Donald Trump hasn't tweeted anything. But yeah, he hasn't really done anything to help his public image. There's a lot of, yeah, especially the younger people that you see now who've been interested in Teslas might be off put by the shit that he's been saying lately and doing. And it's kind of weird. He flirts with, goofy motherfuckers like on Twitter. It's kind of weird. Like tweets weird stuff to Donald Trump and engages with some very interesting kind of like far right people on the platform. It's kind of like taking this new direction. It's kind of weird. I know they've lost a bunch of subscribers to that. So yeah, he just hasn't been helping in Tesla. Yeah, his eye's not on the
He's
ball with Tesla. He's not like
he's
paying attention to it as much anymore.
well, it doesn't even matter. I don't care if he is or he's not. It's that the investors are like don't think he is, and that's all that matters. And so you're gonna lose a shit ton of money when people don't believe in the mission anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, and yeah, it's like what are you doing over here in the fucking first place, dude? Like it's like, ooh, freedom of speech, except for you. Did you see like people made fake like Elon Musk handles and then
Yeah, and he
got
was
banned?
he was banning them. He said they had to be
Yeah.
parodies, and then some of them were, and then he banned them. But he reinstated Kathy
So it's
Griffin, but then he didn't reinstate other people depending on how they made fun of him. It's very interesting, man. It's super
it's like
weird.
it's like a day after he like owns it, he's just doing the opposite of what he said. Like he's just like now the dictator of dictation.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like, and so you could maybe he's trying to make a transition out of Tesla, take over Twitter, and make that his like mainstay because he still has SpaceX. So maybe he's trying to slowly transition and shift himself doing to something else because he sees how much money can be made in media and how much influence he can have in ways. So maybe he's taking that angle.
No, Twitter doesn't make money.
I know Twitter doesn't make money, but if he's trying to like
Neither does Tesla.
I think it's a big deal that he's had 19 recalls this year, like 321,000 cars, because it takes people forever. If you like all want to pick my Tesla, that shit takes forever. But I know people who like put money down on a Cybertruck, and I was like, why the fuck would you do that? You're never gonna get that. It's never gonna be here. It's never gonna happen. He said the windows don't break, and the window broke. This dude, he's a shitty salesman.
My office out in LA has it's like a skyscraper, but it has a parking garage, and like one level of the parking garage is just all EV chargers, and so I'm like it. Like speaking of bees, it's like a swarm of bees every time I'm there, but it's just Teslas. Like if you just lived there, you would think that Teslas was like just nobody
drove through a commercial. You're like, what's going on? Am I supposed to be here?
You would just think that that everybody owned a Tesla, and that just was it. But the fact is, like, almost nobody does.
Bro, have you seen these new Priuses? They're pretty sick. It almost looks like a Tesla. But it's a Toyota, so you know it's going to be good. That's the whole thing. Is now you would think that Tesla...
I drive a Toyota.
Well, you'd think that I drive a Volkswagen, so
I used to.
a little
Yeah,
controversial.
I used to.
Yeah, I remember, dude. The
I
purple,
know.
everything was
My
awesome.
my air conditioner went out.
Damn. But no, like you'd think that as these EVs are becoming more accessible and accepted, where more people want electric vehicles, want to drive around them and own them, you'd think Tesla stock would be skyrocketing. But now that there's more diversity and the free market has really made its decision on electric vehicles and if people like them, if they're sustainable and like it's worked out its kinks, now he has more competition with people that, in my opinion, have more resources, more manpower, take better care of their staffs, you put more thought and curation into their public image, and they have for generations of families. That I think that now the quality of product that he's going up against is better. I think that anything that he's going to put out, the Ford Lightning 100% electric truck, which is 100% electric, like F-150, they're super fucking nice. And when those come
Yeah,
out, I think
and,
those
yeah,
are going to dominate the market.
and Chevy does. Yeah, but that was also and we like
You could have gotten a Chevy Volt back in the day, but they weren't. They were ugly. Nobody wanted a Chevy
right.
Volt.
But I know, but
Priuses were
they're
ugly, but now you can.
but
But Teslas looked cool, is what I'm saying. So they had the
right.
aesthetic, but now the aesthetic is in quality. The quality is caught up to that flashy aesthetic, and now he's being pummeled in the market.
And we threw like $360 billion down in the infrastructure or the um, Inflation Reduction Act is what they called it, but really it was like Climate Change Act. $380 billion, and it gives money to all these companies as long as like I think it's like 80% of the parts of your car are built in the United States.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, no. There was a lot of stipulations about those vehicles and things, and the parts and what's being used, being made to help create jobs. So I mean, that's fantastic. Like those are the things that I don't
Right.
think that people don't. You know.
But that's a flex on Tesla. It's like that money's not going to Tesla. It's going to it's
Yeah.
going
No.
to
Exactly.
it's going to Detroit.
No. Exactly. Like, and that's well, yeah. No, but that's good for the free market, and that's good because that creates more competition and
Right.
incentivizes them to do more of those things
No, I know.
and
I
create more
completely agree
jobs.
with you. Yeah.
And like as where we see the opposite. That's why whenever people are like, oh my god, Elon's firing everybody at Twitter and he's got to have some grandmaster plan. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like, that guy doesn't give a shit about people. There's all sorts of other things that you could say. People always say that there's no like black people that work at Tesla and there's no black people that work at Twitter, which I don't think there are any black people that work at Twitter right now. Or maybe there's
What?
like, no, I mean, it's hard whenever your family ran an
Their
apartheid.
CEO was Indian, like until Elon fired him.
No. What I'm saying is it's
And
hard.
Elon's from Africa.
I'm Oh yeah, and they have a great reputation in South Africa of being huge human. What I'm saying is there is a history of not caring about their workers to a certain extent throughout his life. Even whenever he wasn't running businesses and was a kid, someone in his family was exploiting their workers. So I'm not saying he does that at Tesla, but I'm saying he's a union buster. He likes to sit there. He doesn't want more regulation. He wants less. He wants taxpayers' money, but he doesn't want to pay taxes. And he wants to basically walk around and do what he wants. Purchase a social media platform because he didn't like the way it was being ran and that his buddies were being blocked. So what did he do? And that's why the whole free speech argument is hollow as fuck. Because you can't say that. I know it's like so I was having a discussion with someone. And I was talking about. They were like, "Oh well, Bloomberg bought a bit." I'm like, Bloomberg is a clown. A majority of these old. Well, no. What I'm saying is a majority of the person. I'm not saying that like Bloomberg Business Week is clown shit, but what I'm saying is that when Bloomberg ran and thought he could run for president, that was some clown shit. That is a dude who just owns a bunch, and in certain ways, whether we agree with his worldview or not, he has a medium and a platform where he can have influence in things, and all those media guys do.
Bezos owns the Washington Post.
Exactly, all these
but
guys
he stays the fuck out of it.
So yeah, but what I am saying is, so what Elon is doing is makes him no different than the people he claims he's not. Because now he's a rich eccentric billionaire who wants to go to space. Okay, cool. You and like 9 other motherfuckers And I think there's like what, three of them who've done it, three or four, and like four. There's a couple of you motherfuckers that are crazy enough to do it, but that's not,
Three.
yeah, but that's not like a super crazy. That's not a one person list. And now you're trying to buy a big media platform or company and have some influence and say and have some sort of filter, control the filter on what type of information is passed out on an app that you didn't like. Kanye West, eccentric billionaire, check, bought a fucking social media, or or was, or did he buy Truth Social? Or not Truth Social,
No,
Parlor.
Parlor.
Yeah, I mean
No,
it's all these
no, he
guys.
didn't.
Yeah, so he did. I mean, there was
He,
discussions. They're all the
he
same.
I knew he wasn't going to, but I mean,
Well, yeah.
to be honest, I don't know. Like if the deal went through, but I promise, because it was the exact same week that he lost his 1.4 fucking billion dollars. But do you think that Bezos has like influence over the Washington Post, or Rupert Murdoch has influence over the Wall Street Journal, or
Oh, well, I mean, Rupert Murdoch probably. I don't know. I mean, they're if they do, they're way more like if they have any say in what goes on, or like, oh, I don't like that editor, or I don't like the direction this is heading. But I could see, and not to sound like naive, because I don't think it is, but I could see Bezos being more like, okay, now how do I innovate this and like make this as profitable as possible, but not in a way of like in the way that like we see other people like actively do it, you know. I think that he's and his whole business model and plan, and him being as rich as he is based off of distribution. So I could see him wanting to take something, especially like a like Washington Post or some like newspapers dying, digital media is dying, and I could see him trying. No, not digital media, but the newspaper industry was dying, and they say that for forever, and that it's always been dying, and it's harder and harder for writers, and there's more clickbaity shit, and it's more. So I could see him trying to innovate that and that market in a different way than say like Elon Musk does. He doesn't know shit about anything about distribution other than like promoting himself, sharing memes, trolling people on Twitter, and trying to like indirectly influence crypto stocks.
yeah. No, I mean he's been wrong like every single step of the way since he bought it, and plus he bought it for like three times as much
And
money
I'm
as
and
it
I'm
was
not
worth.
naive, but like that, like Bezos obviously
I
probably
don't think
has
he
some.
does.
But if he did, I wouldn't be like. But I don't think that that's really his intention, because he's never really given that off. All the people
Well,
that do
he
are
has
like,
so much he has so much money. It's like I just don't feel like he would care.
no, I know that. But what I'm really saying is like I don't think that he's equipped like that, and the way he talks about it, or the way he talks about what he does and doesn't do, he doesn't seem to really give a fuck. As where these
Yeah.
other people are like, I rule with an iron fist. You know what I'm like? A lot of these big media mogul, old grumpy ass boomer fucks are all like, I rule with an iron fist. They're that old school, like, bring me pictures of Spider-Man. They're like that old grumpy dude up in an office. It's like some Succession shit. Like
Yeah.
that's some real shit. And that's what a lot of those
I mean
guys are like.
that is like based on like Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah, no, and so it's those guys are just, it's so they're a breed of their own, and he fits more into that mold. And I think we're more seeing him come out of his like douchey billionaire cocoon. I think him trying to be cool and kitschy was like smart. I mean, he made a bunch of money off of it. He's enabled a lot of people with good ideas to go and achieve things that a lot of us didn't think were possible. But he likes to sit there and get the limelight, get the credit, and kind of like be an arrogant fuck about it. You know?
Yeah, and he's like surrounded by like yes men. I don't think there's a lot of people telling him he's a fucking idiot to his face.
Well, I think because you're gonna give me, if I have a project and I'm a physicist and you want me to help you build rockets to go to fucking Mars, I'll humor you if you're gonna give me money to fund that. Because last I checked, I was getting out of school and I was gonna go work for NASA, but now none of their funding really, they don't get shit. All their money goes to you now. So if I'm going to work in this field, which is something I've been passionate about since I had a telescope in a field or some cheesy shit, I have to work for you. Or I can go help build penis ships for Bezos. Or I can hang out across the way from Epstein Island with Richard Branson. I have like three choices of crazy rich fucks who take taxpayers' money and want to go to space. Because, like going to space camp, that's like a thing that I have to do, like, I guess at the Tesla factory. Where do I do that now? Like it's not
Yeah.
the same, you know. So I mean, he holds that, he has like kind of a monopoly on that market and on
Well,
those.
no, because we just launched Artemis,
Well, I know, but
which,
I'm talking about the
but no, I
flashy
know,
and.
I know what you mean, and but also he doesn't run that company. He just hired like really good people to run that company. There's a female that actually is the head of SpaceX, and
No,
she's like in charge.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, even for her being in charge of being like, he is like the figurehead of it. Do you know what
Right?
I'm
No, I
saying? So
know.
that's
No,
like,
I
so
know
it's
that.
like, okay, so he is Jerry Jones of the Cowboys. Mike, he
Yeah,
does not
yeah,
coach. He never played in the NFL, but like, if he wants to fire somebody, he's gonna fire somebody. And if you're gonna draft somebody, you're gonna draft somebody. He doesn't give a shit. Like at the end of
yeah.
the day, it's his, and it'll be his till he dies. And everyone there is basically a yes man, because if you're not gonna work for me. That's actually a really good analogy. Elon Musk is essentially the Jerry Jones of space and electric cars. But but now a lot. That's amazing.
And social media now.
Gunshots and a clap. That's really good, but it's true. And he's
Yeah,
just he's expanded. Just like Jerry Jones bought a bunch of property and is super into real estate and developing the Star, and everybody got a shop. It's like Elon's trying to diversify what he's doing, but he's like really shitty at it, and he's a putz. And he's like made an ass of himself and named his kid some goofy ass name. Like he's just all over the fucking place. That conservatives love him because he talks about free speech. Oh, whoa, was that braids? Was that a braids flyby? Leave that door open, hot boy. Come back out here. Oh man.
he just got home.
Um, but you know, like now he's done such a bad job of like marketing himself that now it's like regressed to the point to where other people are seeing that he's kind of full of shit, because he used to kind of pretend, I wouldn't say be like liberal, but a lot of his ideas and his stances on things would be more liberal or progressive. He
So
has
you're
a lot of.
saying so you're saying he got exposed?
Yeah, he's exposed himself though. Like I don't think he can help himself. That's
Well,
the.
I know,
Yeah,
but that's how you get exposed, right?
yeah, I suppose so.
Right? Unless like it's the dog in like Wizard of
It's like a
Oz. They're
P
just like,
tape. It's like a Donald Trump P tape.
dude,
He ain't gonna
dude.
release it. I dare you. I dare you, Donald. Are you out there
Yeah.
on Twitter?
But those Russian prostitutes released it. They ate a bunch of asparagus and they drank a shit ton of water, and it was
Gross.
ready to
That's gross.
go.
See, I don't think that happened, but I do like the whole
And no,
Stormy Daniels thing.
I actually think it did happen.
You do?
Yeah, yeah, I'm convinced, and not just because it was a rumor for a little bit. Like I heard different things.
Who did you talk to?
Don't worry about it.
Hello.
But
It's like, "Brr, Andy, I have secret for you. I must tell you right away. Please call me back. It involves the big orange man. It involves Donald. Donald's here now, and the asparagus is on the plate." You're like, jeez. Hold on, man. I gotta take this call.
no, I don't have to.
Man, I still to this day think about those crazy dudes that I told you I work, because it was the same Don Pablo's, because we talked about Don Pablo's before. There's a smoking section, and these crazy like 6 Russian dudes, or 4 to 6, it depended. There was a smoking section in there, and they all worked at Office Max, and they would come and sit there on their lunch break for an hour and just drink
No,
black
you told
coffee
me,
and
yeah.
power smoke Marlboro Reds.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Please, more black coffee." I was like, dude, these guys are fucking hardcore as fuck. And that's
Too bad Putin was in there, and you could just put a little poison in that black coffee.
that's when I poached the accent. And one of them looked like the lead singer of System of a Down, but it wasn't him, but it looked just like him. And I was really into System of a Down, so I was like, dude, do you know?
You didn't. First of all, the commissioner of my fantasy football league's brother discovered them. Them, Mudvayne, and Slipknot.
Okay, those are pretty big discoveries.
I know.
That's pretty crazy.
Crushing the game.
Yeah, crushing life at that point. But that'd also be intense. You'd be like seeing Slipknot, and you'd be like, "These guys are awesome. I need to unleash this on the world." That takes a real businessman to be like, "Huh? I see some profitability in this." And they got some bangers. Don't get me wrong, but to be like in business at that point, and to see something like Slipknot, and then be like, "Oh, these guys, I think this is the ticket."
They have some moxie.
Yeah, that's like Listen, I like your chutzpah. Like that'd just be so much. Like
Why? Because he's Jewish.
I don't know. I was just doing a different voice. Hey, I
Well,
like your style. You are covered in blood. I like your mask.
no, Braids and I went to watch uh, a taping of Jimmy Kimmel like 2 3 years ago, and Slipknot was the musical guest.
That's awesome.
Was it?
Yeah, I mean, just to be in there to see everyone's reaction, because I mean, I don't know if the Jimmy Kimmel average person listens to Slipknot. Probably not.
No, but so there was like I'm not even exaggerating, like a 25 foot like chain link fence that like, because he does all the concerts, the Jimmy Kimmel concert
Oh,
series
like outside.
outside,
Yeah, that's
and so
right.
so it's like a giant chain link fence like that backs it up, which separates it from a high school. And there's like just multiple people who climbed all the way up who did not get tickets to Jimmy Kimmel but love Slipknot, that were like up there watching. And we left early, like we left in the middle of the set. We're just like, we had a hotel room at the Roosevelt, which is like next door, and I just look at Brady. He's like, "You want to get the fuck out of here?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here." And but these people are like risking their lives like on this giant fence.
yes. Yeah, yeah, dude. That group's only gonna grow as they get older. At some point, that'll be like there'll be a bunch of old men running around listening to Slipknot.
Yeah.
You kids don't know real music.
No, I think that they're like good musicians. It's just
Oh,
not my.
incredible! But yeah, yeah, it's a mood thing. You gotta be. I always like. You gotta be really angry. That's why I liked some Eminem songs, but when people are like, "Man, you don't like Eminem that much," I was like, I mean, like I'm angry, but like not that angry, man. Like I'm like I'm good for right now, but we'll see what happens.
It's not always angry, but
Oh wait, hold on. I gotta move this. Well, the next article is management or the Marriage Equality Act. So have you've been seeing about this? Is why this? I mean, they're gonna do this, I guess, after this runoff. Are they waiting for the runoff before they vote?
no, I thought that they Senate already passed it.
Oh no, that's right. And they had where is it? I have it. I gotta pull it up. Hold on. I had it somewhere. Right there. It is. Twitter's worse now. Elon, eat a dick. Yeah, so they did pass it 62 to 37.
62-37 to lock in same-sex marriage.
Yes, thank the Lord.
So that like Clarence Thomas can't just like overturn it in the Supreme Court.
It's like I'd turn over interracial marriage, but I can't because I'm already married. No, Republicans. There was a list of Republicans who voted for it: Roy Blunt, Richard Barr, Shelley Moore, Captillo, Susan Collins, Joni Ernest.
Susan Collins?
Susan Collins, yep. Cynthia Loomis, Lisa Murkowski, Rob Portman. This is the one. I'll save that one for last. Dan Sullivan, Tom Tillis, Todd Young, and Mitt Romney.
Well, he's a Mormon. What about Rubio?
No Rubio.
Because Rubio said there's no need to have this vote.
Well, I think they say that just so that they don't have it.
But then Schumer's like, yeah, let's put this on the floor, see what you're gonna fucking say, and they realize that it's like a losing issue if they vote against it, and then like fucking 25 of them voted for it.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
You better not be. You're gonna get
what?
Yeah, I mean that's a step in the right direction. I think that the next one is they need to do something about some women's issues, but
well, yeah, I don't know if that was
all religious liberty,
but they definitely need to put that up, like for a vote. They might have tried, actually. I think the House passed.
Oh, you just yeah. That's in, yeah. In same-sex interracial couples deserve the dignity, stability, and ongoing protection of marriage. Hip hip hooray! Got something done after these fucking midterms.
Yeah.
I don't know how you. Yeah, that just never made sense to me. That's such a weird. I mean, right now, I mean, and not to sound like gloomy or anything, but a majority of marriages end in divorce right now. So they talk about protecting the sanctity of marriage. I think I'm like, what are you talking about? I feel like it's become something completely different at this point, and it's become like, I don't know. I don't think people are. I don't think people are getting married more now than they were before. I think some of the happiest married people I've ever met were same-sex couples. So, so I'm like, it's kind of, I don't know.
No, it's all bullshit, dude. It's just they're trying to. They don't have good ideas, so they just try to play on these culture wars. Like
No,
they
no,
try
I
to.
know that, but I mean, I'm just talking about like other people in general that just are like, no, I don't think they should, because there's people who like, are gaslit to
But that
fuck by like
yeah,
by those dumb
exactly.
things. Yeah, so there's
It's
people
like
who
a
are gaslit by that, and that I don't understand it.
it's a two-pronged attack. It's the Catholic Church or just Christianity in general, and then the Republican Party. And so it's like you're being told by the politicians you look up to, and then the priests and bishops you look up to, and they're telling you the same thing, and it's like they have their own agenda of why they're saying that, but they're feeding you a bunch of bullshit on the sanctity of marriage and
No, no,
the
definitely, no, for sure. But I mean,
so I mean it's apparently it's effective, like these
but what I'm
people
saying, there's people who are Catholics who are divorced, which they shouldn't be divorced, but I guess now they allow it, who aren't married
just not that long.
don't want gay people to be able to get married, and they're not married themselves.
I know.
And that's weird to me. I feel like that's like it's like a you don't like recognize that, like, I don't, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, this is the thing, right? I think maybe for both of them, you know, hot take alert. It's if they aren't straight, then they aren't having babies. And if they're not having babies, then they're not reproducing Catholics and they're not reproducing Republicans.
Well,
And
yeah, no, that definitely plays into it.
yeah, so that could be it.
Well, I mean, yeah, definitely. Oh, the braids is back. Another chap clapping cheer. He's kind of like our Kramer now. He's this show's Kramer, and then Elwood's the other show's Kramer.
No, Elwood is
Newman.
Yeah.
He's your Newman. That's amazing. He is. I told him, I was like, dude, you were pushing his buttons. He was like, what do you mean? I was like, because you were just random as fuck, and it was driving you crazy. Oh, it was so great. I hope he's on the next episode too.
It's just because like we just know what we're doing when we're on a podcast, and he has no fucking.
He's just saying random shit. It's great. Yeah. I love it. It's so funny.
And then I feel bad for 2.0. 2.0 is our Ellen.
Yeah, 2.0 is chill. Or
Elaine.
He loves it.
Elaine. I mean,
he loves it, dude. He has so much fun. People who voted against it: John Barrasso, Wyoming. We'll just go through the state: Wyoming, Tennessee, Arizona, Indiana, Louisiana. Of course, John Cornyn of Texas did. Of course, Tom Cotton of Arkansas did. Of course, Ted Cruz did. Come on now, Lindsey Graham, South Carolina, Chuck Grassley. Josh Haley or Holly still Missouri? That's that insurrection dude, right?
Okay, but you have to understand how this works. It's that
God, I hate John Kennedy. He's so
that they know that it's gonna pass, and so then they go and figure out who can get away with voting against it, and then you're allowed to get a pass to vote against it because it's not going to affect you.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
So it's not like these guys don't actually support gay marriage. It's like that they get to like,
be like, what are they doing?
Exactly.
And then behind closed doors, be like, so what's it gonna take to get this done?
Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
Ted, you Ted. I know you voted no 3 times in a row, but guess what, Ted? You're the biggest dick in the room. So guess what? Fifth time's a
Well,
charm.
hold on, Ted. You're getting a blowjob right now from a dude. But
Somebody call Ted. Where's Ted? Is he out of the country again? And like Marco Rubio, take a sip of water, calm down there. Yeah, I mean, but there's some people, yeah, but some of them, they can get away with it, like
right,
like Chuck Grassley, Mitch McConnell in Kentucky, Rubio, Rand Paul, Mitch McConnell. But that's where like Rand Paul would be like, "Well, I don't understand why we even have to do this right now."
that's what Rubio said.
And then he'd be like, I mean, I don't think that we need extra. I think we're going above and beyond for these people. And I think that that isn't fair to the normal American family and the normal American taxpayer. That's how they set it up. Like they're getting special sets of rules.
No,
It's
it's
like, nah,
like
dog, you're
we just saw what the Supreme Court did like to women, like, and this would easily be up, like, you know, for the Supreme Court to overturn as well if they didn't do this.
yeah, people are it's wow, I can't believe. And it's like and that's the thing is, we should just leave people the fuck alone. If they're not doing anything like breaking the law or anything crazy. Like if people love each other, just let them love each other. I think it's kind
Mm.
of a bitter thing though. For some people, if they can't be happy with someone else, they don't want to see anybody happy with anyone else. And there's got to be some of that runs around. But there's these guys will vote against it. What was it? That one guy who voted against a bill for some state, and then he went to his son's gay wedding
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and was
I was
like
like,
in it. It was
yeah,
like it was the time of my life. But then like 2 days previous was like, no, I don't think you can get married. It's like the hypocrisy is so massive. I mean, and of course, there's disingenuous people across all sides of the aisle. But on some of this stuff, it's just goofy and it doesn't help them. They don't understand that this little, like, oh, well, it's your term to vote against gay. Like, you're still all taking a stance. And there's a lack of tolerance for that. It's 4-1, I think, was the voting, 30 and under, for people that were more leaning left than they were right, somewhere around 4-1. Um, in that age demographic, and that gap's only going to get bigger. Like, it's like you're not that's why they can't have open ballot votes on stuff like legalizing weed in the state of Texas. They'd lose. Like they know they lose. That's why they never put it on an open ticket ballot
that's the problem. Like I've been wondering that, like why don't they? Like because
because
then
they know they'll lose. They did it with
okay, but
women's right to choose in Kansas, and they all voted. They thought they would win. They put it on the ticket and they lost like
no,
60 to
I don't.
40.
I know, but like can't the youth in Texas put it on the ballot like through a petition?
I mean, I don't know if fucking corrupt ass Abbott or Cornyn or Paxton, you're talking about like the golden triangle of shit fuckery that I don't really think they'd give a shit. That's what I'm saying. I don't think like that's. I think they'd do everything they could to stop something like that
That's
from
so
happening,
crazy.
and that's why they, there's like what they lost like 700 something ballot box state like our polling stations in like Harris County or some absurd number, and that's the largest county in Texas in Houston. And they're like, oh, there's only like 2 places you can drop off your mail-in ballot. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like our ballot box to drop it in. If you have an absentee, it's like they'll do anything they can to make it more difficult, because if they didn't gerrymander the fuck out of it,
Exactly.
or they didn't, suppress other people's votes, they'd probably lose.
Yeah, the voter fraud is these assholes like preventing people who are eligible to vote from voting. It's like you guys put out like dudes with fucking guns at ballot places. You take away ballot drop boxes. You make them like have
There was
an ID, but you have a like a college ID that's not acceptable. But if you have a gun registration, that is acceptable. It's like, oh, which one is which? Is it,
mm-hmm.
it's like, it's just so obvious that these guys have run out of good ideas, and so therefore they have to make it more difficult for people to vote in order to win. It is fucked up. And I don't even understand why, like, there is a Republican Party at this point.
Yeah.
Why do you, it's like, now you guys are just like are riding for your team and not the country anymore. Like it's like I'm a Democrat because the Democrats actually try to do like good things for the United States of America. It's like they might not always get it right, but they're at least trying. Like they believe in it.
Yeah, they
Like
like put in an
Republicans
effort.
are, yeah, like, Republicans are just like, how do I get elected?
We'll the corporations will make sure America does good.
Yeah,
That's the dream, right? And you're like, dude, get out of here. No, I
exactly.
mean, yeah, there's just what is it? Someone's like, oh, I always like their ideas until we have to pay for it. I'm like, what? Get out of here.
Seriously, shut the
Shut
fuck
the
up.
fuck up. But yeah, no, shout out Marriage Equality Act, gang gang all day, get married,
And that will pass in the
the
House
sanctity
because
of marriage. Fucking turtle ass McConnell and the boys can go smoke a pole. I'm very very happy. Yeah, but and Susan Collins, I was like, what? Okay.
yeah, I wonder what that is.
It's got her being like, oh man, I got to do this, otherwise people.
I don't know. Actually, she's always one of the ones that will like.
Well, some people might start defecting and shifting away and breaking away from the pack, seeing that maybe they start fleeing on lifeboats. It seems like some of this
No,
stuff.
no. What I'm saying is that Susan Collins usually votes with the Democrats, like on like common sense shit. Like she's like it's like her, um, the senator from Alaska, I forget her name, and then Romney from time to time. Like they all voted to impeach Trump,
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think that,
but
yeah.
but there's only like 3 to 5 at any given time that will cross the party line, and so for her to not vote for to solidify gay marriage is weird. It's like
Well,
is Maine like worried about that? Because 70% of
but
the
see,
country
that's why. But
thinks that it should be legal.
but
So
that's the whole thing. Is these votes on stuff like this are way more personal things for them than it has anything to do with the people really want. When it comes down to certain things like gay marriage, if they're saying like I don't think that gay people should be allowed to be married, for like someone to say that, that's such more of a personal stance than it is anything else. And if you're in a room and you're supposed to be representing a group of people and you vote no and there's any gay people in your community, you're not representing your community. Like, so that's where it's like something that's way more of like, oh, this is my stance and this is what I believe and this is why. So I like with these conservative judges, and they're like, oh, well, my religion doesn't, you know, take place or doesn't influence what I do in court. And then Clarence Thomas's like, well, I go to church before and then I go to church after and I pray about it and then I make my decisions on court cases, which is like like, because at the end they're letting their like faith, I guess, make their choices for them when it comes to certain issues like that. And it's really exclusionary. You can like, you're pushing people
but
to the
but
side.
at the same time, there's multiple ones who are making the choice to vote against it in bad faith. Like they don't give a shit
Oh yeah,
about
no,
gay marriage.
There's those
That's the
people as well.
majority of people like that are voting against it.
Oh no, definitely. There's a lot of people who've been opposed to it the entire time.
There's probably gay people. Like, did you say Lindsey Graham voted against it? You know what I'm saying?
Stop. But
No,
it's just no. But I
it,
know. But there's been lots of people that have voted. Like as we talked about, the other guy who went to his son's wedding, all sorts of stuff. Where
yeah.
just the hypocrisy's deep. And if they know they're going to do it, like, all right, well, who can? They're like, all right, well, John Kennedy, you're a dick and you're from Louisiana. Like, yeah, vote against it. Like,
Maybe now that I think about it, Lindsey Graham might have like a boyfriend that wants him to marry him, and he doesn't want to do it. So
he's
that's
like
why
trying to. Oh,
he's like voting against it. So maybe not in bad faith. He's just like, yo, dude, I can't do this.
yeah. Well, I mean, either way, all jokes aside, it's a big step for like that community. So kudos.
Yeah, shout
And
out.
yes, you deserve all the same rights and tax breaks
And like, yeah, exactly. Like being able to go see your spouse
and
like
all
in the
the other
hospital.
all the other crazy stuff I hear that happens
Yeah.
with that. What else you got, man? You got anything, man?
No, I'm good.
Life treating you good? So last time we did the show, like we're almost at the 2 hour mark, but last time we did it, there's a game going rough, and we got off pretty quick, man. And it killed me. We were doing pretty good too, and then it just like quickly whipped. We were both watching that, and because the Eagles lost, but we won, so it was better. So I'm glad we got through this entire one this time. So kudos, sir. I appreciate you. 65. Let's go.
Go. 666. That's done.
Well, make sure to check out. Well, first of all, follow, like, subscribe, especially if you're listening. Leave a review, something. We appreciate all the love and support. We picked up another country. What was it?
Vietnam.
Let's go. So we forgot to mention that. So we picked up Vietnam. So let's fucking go. But yeah, like, follow, subscribe, and then we got Angry Black Quarterback coming up on Wednesday night. So be on the lookout for that. And have a good fucking Thanksgiving. But of course, you should always go. Hold on, I haven't even started my music yet. You should always go fuck yourselves.
Shout out.